you?
I'm good. I see folks calling you affectionately Kimmy.
Really?
Uh-huh. So
That's
hey
true.
Kimmy. I've never called you that, so I just thought I'd give it a shot tonight. How are you?
I'm good, TJ.
Good. Yes, I'm called TJ
Are
sometimes.
you?
Actually, that's so funny. Actually, I'm called DJ TJ because I'm the truth on the ones and twos, but we'll leave that for another episode. Tonight's not the night.
Okay, so I've always wanted to learn how to DJ,
Okay. Okay.
and we must figure out how to make this happen. All
Bam.
right.
We got it. We gotta do
So,
it.
that is so okay. So DJ TJ, I'm gonna use that.
DJ
I'm gonna
TJ.
use that.
Okay. What's
Mhm.
popping, girl?
So, okay, so what's popping with me? So many things, mom, quarantine, all that stuff. But one of the crazy things from a what's popping perspective, like from a pop culture perspective, that really stuck out to me over the last week or so, and I think I may have sent you a text about it, but I didn't indicate that I was gonna make it my what's popping, is the rise in petty marketing.
Petty marketing. Yes, we did talk about some petty marketing. I do remember.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
And
Yes.
so, like, what's popping with me? I'm sure other people have acknowledged it and seen it with, Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A and some of the stuff that they say, super funny, but it's on the comedic side of petty.
Right.
And what I'm starting to discover is more than it just being kitschy, it is becoming an actual perspective, approach, and strategy for social media, because I begin to see it more and more. I'm sure you can see it right now on the side of the screen, some of the things we're putting up as we're speaking. So, I mean, that's what I'm noticing. It's fun to watch, but I'm not sure what that says about the long-term market, about what it says about our society. I'm not trying to go deep, but I enjoy watching it. I would love to be a part of it if I worked at those corporations.
Yeah.
But I wonder what that says, because that's kind of new.
Yeah, and you know what? The point that you raise is it's trending and it's trendy, right? So
Mm-hmm.
how long will that be like sustainable or catchy? Like, will it get old? Does it get old, right? And
Mm-hmm.
how low will the blows go too? Because some of them are really, really funny. Really funny.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
saw one when I sent you, it said, it's the closed on Sunday for me. And it
For
was
Popeyes.
Popeyes. It's like,
Yes. Yes.
whoa, shots
Yes.
fired.
Shots. Pew pew. Yes. Yes.
And we all know how Chick-fil-A acted when Popeyes ran out of chicken.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
They lost their.
Yes. Yes. That's true. That's true. Let's see.
What's popping with you?
What's popping with me? Well, with Halloween being this Saturday, I know. So we usually don't do a whole lot in the space of like celebrating it. It's not a huge thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
We're usually not home. We go to a friend's house. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm on the fence about, should we still just do the friend's house because the kids are still digitally learning, so most of us are still home. Do we just do that at the house and exchange candy there? But then what if people like are ringing the bells? Like I'm not even down for like opening the door and having people like coming to your house
I know.
giving out candy this year. You know what I mean? So it's just so weird. Like all the holidays and everything we've had to endure with this pandemic and COVID has really just shaken the way or a sense of normalcy, should I say,
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not popping, but it is what I'm considering right about now. So,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Is that
I
fun or
can
not?
I can relate, especially as our children are getting older. It's just like, what do you do? How interested are you? Like it's
Right.
the turn that we all made from like wanting toys versus wanting clothes for
Yeah.
Christmas. It's just like, where are you with holidays these days, kid?
Yeah. I do have an idea. I had an idea though for a costume. I told my husband that so as a family, so my husband and I and our daughter, we should be, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Mike Pence, Kamala, and the Fly. for Halloween, the fly nose. So
Nice. I love it.
so
Who's
we would
gonna be
make
the
Lexi
fly?
be the right. Lexi, she's the smallest one, right? So I thought that was funny, but we're not gonna do it. I don't think
I
so.
like that. I kind
Yeah,
of like that idea.
I know. I thought it was pretty funny.
And you're
Okay,
Kamala.
of course. Yes, and Damien will be Pence. So yeah, I thought that was funny.
Ah,
Well, let's have a little fun and bring one of our girlfriends on. So, ready to spin the wheel?
let's spin the wheel. Oh my goodness! It's our girl Toya. You want me to call or you want to call?
You can call. You can call.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do that. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hey, Toya, it's Kim. Well, I mean, you already know because you have caller ID because you live in the, the 2000s. How you doing, girl?
You're so silly. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, okay, so Tani and I were just talking about you. Came up on our little kitschy wheel. Do you mind clicking the Zoom that I just texted you and joining the meeting? Or...
You know, I'm hitting it. I'm hitting it now.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Hey, y'all see me?
Hey.
Toya,
Hey.
thanks for joining, girl. How are you?
Oh wait, I'm good now that I'm with you guys.
Okay, you know what you got to come with now. You know, we need something to pick our week up, to give us a little mental shift, a little key.
Right.
And for those of you just seeing us or seeing our digital talk show for the first time, this is our segment called What Do You Meme? Where we bring to the stage, coming out to the stage, we bring to the stage the funniest stuff we've seen on the internet. Or some of the most inspiring things we've seen on the internet.
That's true. True.
Huh.
What you got, girl?
I'm sending it to you guys right now because this right here, it was funny and it was meaningful too, but it kind of fits the spirits of things with all these spits that's getting ready to come this upcoming Saturday. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, Halloween. Yeah. Okay, I see it.
You see it? Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. Things I want to stop doing.
This is cute. This one's
Is it
fun.
cute?
Yeah,
Is it
because
cute?
it's cute, but it's kind of sentimental, so I can get with it. Let's get it.
Yeah.
What you got, Toya?
Okay. Fearing the unknown.
So
Y'all know
you're
I
gonna
just took my
start.
mask off, so.
Right? So look, at least with the mask, you knew what you were gonna get, right? Because you were being a certain character, but now with it off. Okay, so you're not gonna be fearing the unknown.
I'm not gonna fear the unknown.
And
What
for
do you
those
like?
and for those watching the backstory, when she says, I just took my mask off, she's referring to our episode, I think it's episode 2
Yeah, too.
of Mask Off. So go back and watch that. All right, sorry. I just want to give context.
Okay, do y'all see now? Y'all see this? I know you got something in here you can relate to.
Yeah.
What you got, Kim?
Am I first? Toya said fearing the unknown. Was that yours, Toya?
Yes.
So you're
Yes.
second.
Well, I was thinking maybe she was reading them all out, and that I guess I made my mind think that because a fear the unknown is mine too, and I was like, maybe she's not, maybe that's not hers,
Well,
maybe she's gonna read them all out, but fear the unknown is yours as well as mine. I think it's a need to. I think it stems from a need to want to feel like you're in control. Although being a Christian, you're acknowledging that you're not in control and that God is in control.
Right.
The free will that he gives us makes me think that I can control some of it, well, of which I can, but it's best that I use my free will in his will. But I still fear the unknown because I think fearing the unknown for me is rooted in a lack of faith sometimes, because if I how can I fear the unknown but believe that he wants the best for me, right?
Wow.
So how can I fear the unknown and say, he will never harm me? How can I fear the unknown and say, yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil. His rod and his staff,
Comfort me.
how comfort me?
Yeah.
How cannot fear the unknown. And so it's a confession of sorts, but it's just real. It's just real.
I love the reality though of how can I do it because we are still human. And so resting in his sovereignty is what we have to do. So I love that. Like that takes realness. I think it even makes me think about Toya, like last episode when you were like being real about yourself and like what are some of the things you're dealing with. So no, that's good. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna pick. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna
so
pick.
Many.
I know.
And don't feel like you have to purposely pick something different, which I felt the pressure to do that.
Well, I am actually torn between two. That's why. Okay. It's forgetting my power and killing my own vibe. Like I feel like those two are kind of, closely tied to one another.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do, notice myself like, let me see, over my lifetime, people have mistakenly like coined me as like stuck up or conceited. And like, I am like the furthest thing from that, right? And so I have self-sabotaged quite often for many years of my life. And I feel like once I got into my 40s, there's something about the 40s that just kind of shakes you up. And it's like, I am here and this is what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
And so, but still having a level of obedience and, God will give you the desires of your heart, but you've got to make sure those desires are in alignment with what he's called you to do as well, right? So don't get all mad if you're out here willy-nilly and things aren't popping off for you. Those desires, are they aligned with what he says and what he and his will is for your life? So I'm gonna stop killing my own vibe. I like that.
That kind of goes with poisoning my thoughts. They kind of all
they do
kind of intertwine a little bit, just like fearing the unknown and fretting about the future. Kind of goes together.
Did you have another one, Kim? Because I have a surprise for us.
No. I'm ready for surprises.
I like surprises.
Bring the surprise, girl.
So we're going to go ahead and head into our beautifully driven segment. And for this segment, similar to you bringing your bestie on, I have invited my bestie, and some of you probably already seen the promos for her being here. So I'm uber excited to have her. Can I bring my friend on?
You better bring her in here. We want to meet her, love on her, kiki with her, give her 7,000 rounds of applause, and learn something today.
Well, here she is. Hey, Trina.
Y'all. Hey. Oh my goodness. How in the world did we get on your calendar? This is bananas. We are in the presence of greatness.
Girl, but thank you guys so much for having me. Like Tiny said, that is my best friend. And I love what you guys are doing. And I am so excited to be here.
Trina, we are happy to have you. So I had to take a moment, to extend the invite. You have such an amazing story. Just really quick, Trina and I have been friends since we were about 14. So we're talking like almost 30 years because I'm not going to give out.
What? Y'all go back to puberty.
We go.
God,
we go back.
Back to puberty.
Yes.
Well, when you look, friends, it's hard to keep friends. But if you got a friend that you can keep through puberty, the most up and down emotional point of your life, that's a real friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what's funny though, and Trina, you can attest to this. Our crew from high school, like many of us are still very close. You will hear and see like Bomb Squad, like that's what we call ourselves.
That was our call in high school.
That is so cute. That's so cute.
Yeah, we were like a crew of 13. So Bomb Squad was always in the building. We had a flavor for like when we would see the dudes, it was like, okay, you like them tall, we got one for you. You like them short, we got one for so Great variety, but Bomb Squad was always in the building.
In the building.
In the building. So I'm going to do something a little different today since I know so much about Trina. We sent her a questionnaire to have a little fun. So I think I'm going to learn some things about her tonight, just as you all are, okay? So one of the questions, Trina, we asked you was, if you were a boxer, what song would you come out on? And I'm not shocked by the artist because you are a huge fan of theirs, but I did not recognize the song. So can you tell us, my friends here and our viewers, what song would you come out on if you were a boxer, Trina?
All right, you gonna make me do this. I'm about to rap. I'm about to split some bars.
Do it.
I am a major Wu-Tang fan, and people think like, oh, she dibbles and dabbles. Like, no, for the last 2 summers, I went to the music fest that came to town, and Wu-Tang, I mean, they're all old now, so it's like, I gotta go see them. So every time they come to town, I go see them. So I've been a huge Wu-Tang fan since high school, and it's just one of those like sacred societies, and I just can't let it go. So I am a Wu-Tang fan, so I will come out to Wu-Tang Triumph. Y'all probably don't, you don't even know it? The masters, the outcome disastrous.
Wait a minute, I was getting ready to back you up. No.
Hey. I can't say everything because it's got a lot of, I had to skip the cuss words, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
We saved, but
Right.
Do you?
Exactly.
But
that was funny.
What I couldn't quite get is that I listened to the song for a long time and I was like, okay, where's the hook? Where's the hook? And a friend of mine was like, it's like 50 of them in that group. There is no hook. Everybody needs it.
Each person tells a different story.
Really?
That's the look, I'm about to make y'all Wu-Tang. Well, y'all I don't know.
No, bring it in.
Yes, like Wu-Tang, like each person is so different that they bring a different element and telling the way they tell the story. And it's like watching like a book of poetry in a sense. Mm-hmm. So each person comes in and gives a different spin on the story. So and it's like crazy because it's like, for me, it's like perfect harmony. If that
Trina's Wu-Tang. Okay, so Trina, quick question. If you were to take the same frame and apply it to, say, your 20s before children, when you and Tani and the Bomb Squad are like in full effect, or a vacation with the bomb, what would be that song or that?
Tani, what were you singing earlier? All black like the Omen.
Yes.
Oh,
what was that?
All About the Benjamins.
All About the Benjamin. I don't know why that song was like. I just remember that song being played while we were driving to the city, about to go out, and we was like all black. Like we was just like getting it. Like you couldn't tell us nothing. And I just think that was like our jam. That came on, and then some other stuff because we from Chicago, so there's some other stuff.
Right. Right. And when you talk about us coming together, we started out as friends being young, and many of us have gone through some devastation, in our adulthood. And coming together, we've also seen that, Trina, right? Loss of parents, Trina lost her mother. And when I tell you, Bomb Squad stood up, whether we all talked or not, flowers, flights, going to Chicago. We made sure she had food when she came back so she didn't have to worry about the girls eating. And there were like no questions asked. It's yes, we're going to do it. I don't care if we're still tight or not. Everyone is not still like this, but we're going to always be there. And it's that bond that we created when we were that young that holds us together.
Y'all came through. Don't get me started, but y'all did come all the way through. A couple of them I hadn't talked to or seen in years, and they were right there. They traveled.
That's family. That's more than friends. That's family right there.
Yeah.
That is my sister. Like,
that's
she
right.
can't go nowhere. Yeah. Like, I don't even know. Girl, bye.
Okay.
I have 3 things to say before we move forward.
Fine. Good.
Yep, 3. If I can remember. One, what you guys talk about, the type of, oh no, the first thing is reach out to your bomb squad right now. Pick up the phone, text them, everybody that's watching, at them, forward this video to them, and tell them how much you love and appreciate them and how much your life is richer by them being in it. That was the first thing. The second thing is you all, the way you speak of each other and the way you speak of your experiences, while it is fun to listen and laugh and kiki through, you cannot help but understand and see that it's a testament to how great of women you are, because you cannot talk about these type of relationships if you are not a good friend yourself. So it says a lot about you two. Number 3, I can't remember because I saw Tawny crying and now I'm about to cry. So perhaps,
oh God,
but it says so much about you two. It really does. You can't possibly have long lasting relationships and friendships if you are not that yourself, you know, and it makes me love you guys and respect you even more than before.
Thank you, Kim. The tears right now. I've just been really blessed. I've been blessed to have really good people in my life for so many years. And so even for our viewers, cherish all of the relationships. It matters. It matters because now I can look back and all the fun that brought us together actually knits us even tighter in our adulthood. And I'm blessed with like God is just so good. I have representation right now of when I say like old friends and new, and I'm a little bit overwhelmed with emotion because of that. So forgive me. And I don't know, I might be PMS, so who knows? But nonetheless, you know, it's a real thing. So, you know, thank you for recognizing that. All right. Who's gonna take us into the beautifully driven segment?
Look, we ain't really started talking to Trina yet. We crying and wiping.
I ain't even got no tissue. I'm at the I got a first.
I'll wipe your eyes. I'll wipe your eyes.
I'm at the stuff up.
Trina,
okay. Breathing.
Trina, I'll wipe your eyes.
There you go. That's love right there. Over the internet. Okay. I've collected myself. Let's kick this off. So we're ready for our beautifully driven segment. So here's where tonight we have our special guest Trina Small with us. And like I said, she has an amazing story. I cannot wait for her to share. Trina, go ahead. Dive in. Tell us. We can't wait to hear.
Well, you say okay. So yes, I am Trina. I am a wife and I am a mother of 2 girls, ages 5 and 10, Peyton and Harper. I have a family fashion blog called Hey Trina, formerly Baby Shopaholic. I've had it for 10 years. I am currently a full-time blogger and I am the creator of the super mom lifestyle brand, Super Mom Culture.
Yay! Hey, that's a praise break.
I'm mad we shouted.
Hey,
let's go.
Hey,
got to
praise them.
So yeah, Super Mom Culture. I started that a little bit over a year and a half ago. It wasn't even really a year ago. I just named it Super Mom Culture. It was kind of like I got shirts and I got hoodies. And then I finally was like, I guess I need a name. Like I really just winged it. Okay. So we'll get to that. So that's where my faith comes in, where I'm just like getting it. So, you just want me to just keep rolling?
Yeah. Tell us your story. The viewers want to hear. I might learn some more tonight too. So,
well, the story, I kind of feel like it's all over the place. But you know, and it's hard to even like talk about this. I don't want to say it's hard to talk about it, but I've just been through so many things. It's like almost growing up, it was like if it wasn't one thing or another. And I don't want it to sound tragic or anything because I'm here.
Amen.
And I'm great. But yeah, you know, I was raised with a single mom. You know, I know a lot of us are. This is some other tea. Well, Tiny knows this. I was a secret child. So I had a whole lot of issues. Like I didn't even know what a dad was. And I saw the Cosby Show and I was like, oh, I thought only certain people got one of those. Like, oh, she has a dad. She's so lucky she got one. I was like, I don't have one, you know. So it was kind of like that. I have 2 older sisters and a brother. And then with my extended family, just some of the stuff, we had a lot of colorism in our family. And I was the only light-skinned person. So I got a lot of heat. So it was kind of like, I guess, the reverse colorism, if that is a thing.
It's a thing. It is.
So I got a lot of heat because everybody in my family was dark. And, you know, I was, you know, poorly treated by, you know, aunts and cousins and things like that. And it really, and I just thank God that he brought me through, because it can really take a toll when somebody tell, oh, you look like this and you look like that. You think you better than everybody, you fast. So I had started taking on all these labels, and I was like not even 10 years old and 12 years old. So it was like, oh, am I? Like, am I this? Am I this? You fast, you think you all this, and you gonna have a baby before you get this age. Like, it was just like mad toxic, you know what I'm saying?
And Trina, it's even more hurtful, ladies, like when it's your family too, right? That is your family is the place where you're supposed to be loved and embraced and enriched and encouraged, right? So I just had to kind of put that out there, because I know that's got to resonate with some folks. Give us a thumbs up, say something, because you are not alone. And that's been the whole thing that this platform is about: real life, real talk, real women. I'm sorry, Trina, I just had to put that out.
No, you're fine. And so, but because it is family and other people, you hear them talk, you almost be like, dang, okay, well, I don't know why I think I'm better than people, and, you know, and all this type of stuff. So you kind of like bring yourself down, because I don't want to say nothing. You don't want to bring attention to yourself. So I had started doing that. And it wasn't until, we had moved away and I lived closer to it was really more high school. I lived closer to my high school, and I tried out for cheerleading. When I tried out for cheerleading, it was like I was able to just do my thing, and Tani was there. Well, Tani was at the high school, so I did cheerleading all through high school. But it was a time where I was able to express myself. I was able to be Trina in all her glory. I'm telling you, it was almost like cheerleading saved me. I know that sounds crazy, and I wasn't even thinking about this when trying to prepare for this. But like, just being able to be a cheerleader, that's when I broke out of my shell, and then I was out there, hyping the crowd and doing everything, and I was just able to just be me for a change. And then like after that, it was kind of like, okay, y'all can't tell me nothing no more. Like, I'm not gonna let y'all put this on me, because I know who I am. I had found like my little stride. But then that also led to some other things. So I missed a lot of school, but I was cool with my teachers. They let me slide. But they did, because I was in there politicking like, y'all, I had a little situation. I'm back though. Y'all know I'm cool, right? So, but yeah, like, just, it's almost like if that wouldn't have happened and we all came together and was able to talk about it, I wouldn't have had the relationship that I had with my mom, the relationship that I have with my sisters now, because all that it was tested, and I bounced, and there was time I was like, I'm not coming back. But I ended up getting back because, number one, my mom didn't give up on me. So, she brought me back, and she had never heard of counseling. I didn't, in the Black community, especially back then, because I was only, 16? I had a license, so I was 16. And we went to a counseling session. And I think for her to just to be able to talk in a calm setting versus yelling and, sisters and everybody barking at me, it was like, we could talk. And I'm like, yo, the stuff that y'all think is happening is not happening. We were able to communicate. After that, we've been best friends up until the day she passed.
I'm sorry for your loss.
So, but yeah. So then after that, I graduated, went to college, 4 years, came out with a job, and I was still, because I was determined. I like I said, I didn't want all the stuff that people put on me, I knew that wasn't me. So we had to like block that out and just keep going. If this is what you want to do, who cares what everybody says? Just go for it. You got to go for it.
Now, Trina, shout your school out now. Don't just say you went to school, shout them out.
Southern Illinois University. It's not an HBCU. I want to go back to an HBCU. Am I too old?
You're never too old.
Yeah.
No, this is, so you mentioned like the counseling piece, right? And in our community, how that's not something that we refer to or defer to first. Right. We try to solve it, and we don't need to tell nobody our business.
Right.
Well, there's sometimes you cannot work through things without an objective person being there to help mediate and calm some of those emotions. And when you're able to hear from a different perspective, then it's like, oh, that's what she meant, or oh, that's what she's been going through. But we don't even give each other a chance for that because there's this stigma in our community around counseling.
When I listen to, at least up until the point that you are with your story, I hear a couple themes. One is tenacity, from childhood to adulthood. The other is, I hear the theme of the resourcefulness of mothers, how we as parents and as mothers, we can grab onto or source the things that we are unfamiliar with. You talk about your mom and her looking and acquiring some counseling, which was unfamiliar to her. And then I know through the rest of your story, we'll listen to it some more, that you have been extremely resourceful in the same ways, things that you could not have ever dreamt of doing or imagining or setting forth have happened to you because of your tenacity and your resourcefulness. And then I also hear a theme of advocacy and how that became a paradigm shift in different parts of your life. The advocacy of a counselor, shifting your relationship with your mom. And then the advocacy that you guys have amongst each other in the Bomb Squad, which shifts, of course, the way you think and the way you operate in relationships, both male and female, I'm sure. If you have a great friend, it's hard to not let that bleed over to a healthy relationship. Right. And then, one thing I wanted to say that I heard as well, the last thing is that a lack of familiarity is a thing. And so when people aren't familiar with you, they are quicker to discount you and say things about you. And so what I heard about your family, and we all experience this, and your family members have, and my family members have, we all experience that when people have not seen a you before, they want to label it as this, as fast, as that. But, their lack of familiarity with you and with your tenacity and with your brilliance, caused them to make, the wrong initial call. And you guys got it right. But it's a lack of familiarity that I'm hearing. Another thing is you had a Freudian slip. What tipped me off to this, you had a Freudian slip. You said we all got together and had and you said, well, not an adult conversation, because I was an adult, I was 16. But you also double back to say that you were very mature along with the Bomb Squad. You guys had very, healthy relationships as it could possibly get, plus some for teenagers. Yeah. And so in a lot of ways, you were a lot more mature, a lot more wise, and a lot more discerning than the average person. And that all together leads to intimidation by other people, even older than you.
That's a good point, Kim.
That is.
Yeah.
I've never heard it like that. People are unfamiliar. Just like people when you walk in the door, ooh, who she thinks she is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But sometimes that's them putting their own insecurities on you.
That's exactly what.
But when people aren't familiar with somebody that moves the way you move and seeing your flavor of confidence and humility and kindness, they get scared.
Yeah.
It's the lack of familiar. You've not been exposed to enough to have to have been around a me before. You've maybe not been a good enough friend to share in circles, or to have another friend like me, because the Bomb Squad will likely intimidate you if you are not as cool of a girl, or as calm, or as wise, or as humble,
as real,
or as real. Hell yeah.
So now, Trina, tell us, what has this led to?
So it was crazy. I'm telling you, it's nothing but God. I ended up getting a call for a job in Atlanta, and I passed on it because I had just moved into an apartment. Like, I felt like I was finally doing something. I got an apartment with a bum ex, but we had an apartment together, and I was like, oh, we just got an apartment. I'm not gonna, pursue this opportunity. So they were like, okay. So they hired somebody, went on, and man, let me tell you what happened with this apartment. I'm telling you, God had to intervene. Like, you gonna leave this bum alone, and I'm gonna make you do it. The first month the rent was due, or the second month the rent was due, I came home from work. This fool had packed his stuff, didn't get no rent check, and he cooked some steaks on my George Foreman grill.
No. Oh, and then left a little residue there. Ooh.
George Foreman grill. I'll be like, I'm done. He cooked some steak. Now, mind you, I didn't have a lot of money, but I had some steak. This fool thawed out my steak, cooked it. The thing was still warm, and he didn't clean it. That there took me over there.
And then left?
And he moved his stuff out.
Oh, that's a special flavor. Sorry.
He was like, he didn't have the rent, so he didn't want to tell me.
So he cooked your food and left?
Ate my food and left. I had all tidy.
And packed up, like packed and cooked, then cooked and left.
Cooked and left. Didn't wash a dish. Cause you know how hard them George Foremans are to clean.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry, ladies. That's enough to make you want to slap the out of somebody.
Dude, I'm still fired up about that. I'm gonna tell you, like, I see a George Foreman, I'm like,
that's my friend. Look, that's my friend.
Yeah. So he left. So, okay, fine. We're going to keep the party rolling. I stayed there. And I stayed there. So then, not even the second month after he left, I ended up getting a call. That same job opportunity came available again.
What?
Yeah.
That's what he'll do.
Well, thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Come away. Now you ain't got no distractions. And now here's the job again. So they flew me down to Atlanta.
You got flued out. You finally got flued out.
I finally got flued out. Got flued out. So they flew me down there for an interview. Tiny ended up coming down. I think you were in Tennessee at that point. Tiny ended up coming down. I went to the interview afterwards. I just stayed over one night, and we went out partying, and I got on my flight and came back. So I ended up getting the job. They called me on a Monday. Let me tell you, Monday or Tuesday, they called me. I accepted the offer. I was driving back on that Friday, back to Atlanta with my clothes and garbage bags. And I called, what do you call that? A friend of Tiny's. We weren't cool at the time. We real tight now. But I was like, can I stay with you? She lived in Atlanta. Can I move in with you? Because I still have my apartment. So my lease wasn't up. So it was like,
but that speaks to, as I mentioned earlier, having good people in your life.
Right.
So a friend of mine opened up her home to a friend of mine. Like,
right.
And they had seen each other and we hung out, but they were not like at that level. And again, we're all super tight now, but good people in your corner. Like, it is priceless. It is priceless. But I have to say this, Trina. We want to get to the super mom culture. Okay.
Oh, wait. I know, but please, just a little bit more. It's a cliffhanger right now.
Okay, all we know, she
live happily ever after.
No, Tony, don't mess this up for me.
But I just wanted to say how things were going in my career. And so I came down here. Atlanta just sparked the creativity in me. And it just I started seeing all these entrepreneurs and all the things that were going on. It's like the Black Mecca and, everybody was doing something. I was like, oh, snap. This is it. These are my people. So I was able to hone in on my creative side. Then I started doing my hustling. I had a jewelry company for a while. That was really good. I did that for a couple years. I had a jewelry company and I just started doing styling on the side. So I was just able to express myself. So then I felt like, okay, I have arrived, you know. And then fast forward, I got married, had some babies, and I started a blog.
What made you start the blog?
So, because this was like BlackBerry Razor. I think I might even had a Razor phone, but I did have a little camera. So I had my daughter and Tiny knows like I'm real into fashion. I always love clothes and everything like that. So I started dressing my baby. She was only 6 months. I would put these little outfits on her. I remember I was emailing y'all like, look at Peyton, ain't she cute? You know, propped up in these little outfits because I bought like she was Burberry, she had Gucci, she had everything. Okay. I was going broke trying to put everything on this child. So I was like, oh, okay. I was reading something because, you know, after you have a baby, you start trying to find stuff on the internet and you like kind of hang on to whatever. So I was reading, I didn't even know at the time it was a blog. And then it said something in the corner said free blog. And I clicked on it. I was like, oh, you telling me I could do a website myself? So I just dressed her up, propped her on a pillow, took some pictures. And then I'm like, you know, like, we're here, you know, I'm going to share my baby's outfits. And I'm like, I don't even know who I'm talking to. Hey, world. Because I don't even know how you get followers. But somehow people just started coming, leaving comments. I'm like, how did they know that? And that's just kind of how it went down. And that's been 10 years.
10 years.
It's been 10 years. And so, you know, it just transformed and I started sharing my things and I just built this community and that community is like ride or die for Baby Shopaholic, Trina and the fam, like they come through. So in the back of my head, I was like, okay, I wanted something cool for moms. Like what I've been talking about this for like 4 or 5 years. I was like, okay, I don't want to do t-shirts. I want to do t-shirts. What else can I do that moms will feel cool, you know, good in? Something comfortable, nothing crazy. I didn't want to have like a boutique. I just wanted some like real clothes. And then I just kept like, I'm not doing no t-shirts. So I first came out, I was like, oh, some aprons, some little fun aprons. So I did some aprons. Ain't nobody checking for no apron. I mean, they did okay, but that's what I started. So I started with the aprons. Then I had the bags. The bags did really well.
That thing up.
So it was supposed to be kind of like a little gift shop, like little fun, useful things for the moms or, you know, anybody. So I had the bags. Okay. And then someone kept telling me, Trina, you got to do a shirt. So I just played around, did some designs and, you know, sent them to friends. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? And, you know, there were people saying like, that just looked like just a plain white shirt. I was like, okay, well, you know what? What's it going to hurt? I'm going to put it on. My, at the time, 8-year-old took pictures of me right outside the porch. She took pictures for me. And, you know, I put them up and people started buying. I was like, oh, snap. Like, they really buying these t-shirts. Then Mother's Day came, which it wasn't even intentional. Mother's Day was about to come up. And that right there, they just was flying out the door. And I was like, oh, my God. You know, I just had this little idea and it just kept growing and growing. And like I was winging it. It wasn't even called Supermom Culture. It was just Trina's Supermom shirt. That's all it was. And so I was running it through my blog. It didn't even have a website, but it started taking on a space of their own. People kept sharing it. So it started becoming this community. So I was like, I got to put together this community. So what I did was I ended up finally doing a website, making its own Instagram, and I just let the moms, it's powered by them. And I took myself out of it. I wanted everybody else to feel some ownership, like they belong, similar to like a bomb squad situation. Like you got a whole crew, ride or die behind you as mothers. Like we're all here to support each other. So the page, you don't even see me on there. It's just all moms wearing their Supermom shirt. And so it's just like a community. And like I said, it was just really God guiding me, making these decisions. Because I couldn't have even thought of, even I just sat here and wrote it out, it wouldn't have looked like this. So I just been kind of really no plan. And I just been going at it. Now, what I will say, I work very hard. I do. And I think that's the part that people miss. They want something to hit overnight. And even though the Supermom culture did take off, I actually had been building my community for the last, 10 years up until that. So it's like a 10-year overnight celebrity in a sense. But now it's taking a mind of its own. It's just doing its thing, and I am just winging it and trying to level up as best as I can. And it'll
Yeah, you
happen.
deserve it.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
It's been so exciting to watch. I know Trina mentioned that she's always been a fan of fashion, and so I remember we would go in stores and she was like, "Oh, that's cute." That's I'm like, "Oh, it is." And then she would put it on. I'm like, "Dang, that's fine." Like she's just always had a knack for that kind of thing. So I'm not surprised that something as simple as a T-shirt still has flair and flavor, and you have so many other items as well. A part of the
we're growing, but it's crazy because I did write that. I was telling Peyton the story how in 8th grade I wrote that I wanted to have a fashion line. And so when the new product came and it had Supermom culture tags in it, because I designed them and everything, she was like, "Mommy, you have your own fashion line." And it was like, oh my God. So it's just never too late. I thought I would have it in my 20s. Come to find out it didn't happen to my 40s. But you know what? Like I said, I couldn't have planned this. You know what I mean? This has been God just telling me how to move. Because I did not have a plan. I put on a T-shirt and my baby took the pictures and I just really put them out there.
Trina, what's the line that you said? Google, what did you say?
Oh, Google and God. Woo, child. Let me tell you. Yeah, you can do anything with Google and God.
You sure can.
I Google everything. I'd be like, because I didn't even know the design of this bracelet. I'm like, the bracelet that looks like the Google everything. I think we get so caught up in people putting out so much information. There's so much information out there that we want somebody to spoon feed us and tell us directly. Because you guys don't know how many messages I get of people saying, "How do I start a T-shirt line?" And I just tell them, copy and paste that into Google. And there are so many podcasts and so many YouTube videos that will help you. Because I'm still learning. Okay. So how could I tell you how to do a T-shirt line? Because at that, you're not to say you're doing yourself a disservice to not do the research.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
You gotta just go out there and try to find out the information because you learn as you go. Your journey ain't gonna be the same as mine. You might get some bad shirts or whatever. I've had bad shirts. But until that happens, you're not going to even know. Now, you told me to do this. Like, girl, this happens to me all the time.
But I think like doing the research and doing the putting your feet to the pavement, that is like a basic litmus test to how successful of a business person you'll be. Like if you can't do a Google search and you need people to tell you what to do, what to order, if you need shortcuts at the beginning, then there's nothing that I could possibly do for you to make you successful long term.
Right.
Nothing at all.
You may not want it. You may not want it bad enough then, to me. If you're not willing even to take that first step, can you at least try to take the first step before you try to get to the last step?
Right.
You got to take that first step first.
Yeah. I don't understand it because I do, now I have 2 platforms, but with my personal blog, I get how to start a blog. And like I said, I didn't even know it was a blog. I just clicked free blog and, build your own blog. And I was like, oh, that's what that is, and you figure it out. Like you said, you got to have what they say, the battery in your own back. Like you got to get out there and do it. 'Cause ain't nobody going to do it for you. I can thank you. Here's all the emails and logins for Supermom Culture. You're going to hand it right back when you start seeing how it goes down.
No, I would. Okay? Especially the vendor relationship part. Like, no.
Girl, the vendors, vendors, manufacturing, the customer service portion, and it's just a lot. And then just trying to do it all. You know what I mean? I'm like a woman. Well, I'm not a one-man show no more. I was. So I'm trying to level up.
Look at God.
I can.
Look at God.
You have everything. And I think that's another thing that people feel like they got to have it all together at the beginning. And again, until you, like you said, till you hit the pavement and start, you don't even know what you really need until you get into it.
Now, Trina, I saw you on something, and I remember running to the TV, like, what they say? What they say? Who? And I looked at the TV, and it was you. And they was like, it's a phenomenon, the super mom culture phenomenon. And I was like, well, who is this? I had no clue that I was the friend of a star.
Oh, girl. Look, stop. No.
But tell us about that.
I saw you on Good Morning America.
Let me tell you, it's still surreal like that. I feel like I blacked out and was watching a movie and watching somebody else do all of this. Because again, like I said, and not that I was setting myself up like I was a victim or something, or like I want to say charity case, but like I said, I always felt like things weren't happening. You start to get in your own head like, ain't nothing ever gonna work out for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I still get a little of that imposter syndrome. Like, is this really happening? But I'm going for it regardless. Even if it's a dream, I'm going hard in that dream and I'm making it work. And then I'm gonna wake up and figure out how I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So I think this is time for us to go to our next segment. And Trina, will you please hang out with us and do it with us some me work?
Of course.
Awesome. So Me Work is, for those of you who have not joined us before, Me Work is when we take our beautifully driven segment and we break it down into actionable parts. And tonight we are featuring our Me Work journal that is now available for purchase.
I need one.
I'm so excited.
We've got one for you, Trina. Sit tight. It'll be on its way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do we want to do, ladies?
We're ready. We ready. We're ready to get some me work done. I'm ready to work on me.
Unpack it. Unpack it. What are we doing first? So, Kim, you were so eloquent in giving us some, like summarizing some of that story. Mm-hmm. Lead us down the path. What else? What do you hear as far as a good point or a good place to land?
Gosh, I don't know. Like I have so many, there's so many legit things that I could glean, that we all can glean from Trina's life, her experience, and just the boldness that it takes to be so transparent with us. I'm kind of torn between quite a few different things. Not to pass the buck, but to kind of pass the buck to Toya. Toya, you're generally better with this type of thing than I am. What say you?
Well, the one thing that I heard consistently is that you always bet on yourself, like always. Even when you were a teenager, you were betting on yourself. Other people were doubting you. You was like, no, that's not what I want to do. You was continuously betting on yourself. So I picked up on that a lot. That seemed like that's been like the theme of your life. If I can't bet on no one else, I can bet on me. And then you bet on Yah.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, how did you do it?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's crazy because even though like you guys are doing stuff, I was never jealous. I was always happy for y'all. So I never been like, oh, why she get this job? Or, you know, I could do this too. I never did that. But I just knew if I just kept working or figure something out, I always knew I was a creative. And I'm like, maybe that wasn't my path. You know, I'm going to keep doing it because I got to pay the bills. But that was just not my path, you know, and I was happy for y'all. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So, but you kept betting on yourself, like you didn't give up. You didn't let.
No, I never gave up. And I think that is, and it's crazy because you guys made me think about that. But like, I really had to just keep pushing. I pushed through everything, and like when you look back and you think about it, you don't know when you're going through it. But I just knew that there was more for me, and I just kept pushing.
Mm-hmm. And you knew that you would not settle.
I wouldn't settle. I would not settle. So yeah, I just kept pushing because I just knew this wasn't it. Like I said, this can't be it because, you know, over here struggling all the time, that just wasn't working for me.
And I also hear, so number one we said is bet on yourself, right? But I also hear, as it relates to just not succumbing to the noise rising above. So like, don't dumb yourself down or don't dim your own light. Be who you were called to be. Shine, right? So what are some instances or cases that you've seen, like people just hating, like, and then you succumb to what other people are saying?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, when I was sharing the story, you know, in my childhood, all the stuff that was being fed into me, you can start to believe that. But then you got to tell yourself, if you know that's not what you want to be, you just got to go for it. You know, if they don't like it, if they think you know, talented people, there's somebody who has something to say about all these talented people. Even Beyonce, we know how amazing she is, but there's always some hecklers that no telling what they doing. I would like to see them turn the camera on themselves and show that. But it's like just a reflection of where they are in their life, or, you know, something that's going on with them. So you just have to shine your light, and everybody ain't here for you, and that's okay. But you can still do it anyway. Because there's some people like that. And you just have to really lean into it, because like I said, it was so many years that I felt like I couldn't say nothing. Or if I came out, like even when I went to trial for cheerleading, then people gonna be like, oh, that goes into the, you know, because I even had some people's family members say like, she only want to do cheerleading so she can wear that short skirt. Ridiculous. We want state, so you know what I'm saying? We were some athletes. But anyway, but you know what I mean? Like people saying that stuff. So if I thought about like, oh, they're gonna think this, they're gonna think I think I'm this and that. Man, forget these folks. You just gotta go after it. You cannot, you just have to shine bright. You really do. You really
absolutely do. Now let me say this, and if you're in a dark room, right? When you're in a dark room, even if you just have a flicker of light, there's going to be some light. A light is going to bring some brightness. So when you bring your brightness, or the darkness has to go away. It has to go away.
That's scripture,
so, you know, that's why.
That's the word.
Well,
right
y'all know I be trying sometimes. I may not tell you where it's at, but you know it be sinking in. Okay.
That's okay. We'll put it on the screen.
Thank you.
I was listening. You do, just lean into it. You know what I mean? Tiny is like one of the most talented people that I know. Like she was singing, which was so crazy because when we were in high school, I was like, you gonna sing at my wedding? And we were like, 14, 15 years old? Because I found out she could sing. I was like, oh, you can sing? I want to sing. Remember I used to try to sing? Anyway, that's a whole nother. Tony laughed at me so much.
I love y'all together. Let me just say this. I love y'all together. And I cannot wait to meet the Bomb Squad.
Okay,
right.
Look, I'm going to have my Me Work journal be like, can you sign the back? My name is Kim. K-I-M. B-O-S-T-I-C.
Kim, you forgot. We getting jumped in afterwards, remember?
Yeah,
they told us.
I don't like physical labor.
Tiny gonna be the chief or whatever they call them people.
No. This has been so much fun. Like the laughs and the tears, the encouragement. This has been really a good session. Trina, I really appreciate you. First off, as a friend, as a sister, and I especially appreciate you for sharing with us this evening. Ladies, I love you all too. Trina, I love you. I'm just a big ball of tears today. I'm trying to, I don't know.
I'm holding them back, girl. I'm holding them.
So I don't know what it is. Kim, I don't know. You want to take us on out?
I'll take it from here very carefully because I feel like I'm on the verge of tears as well. I feel like I've been allowed to witness and sit alongside two very good friends who have amazing stories, who have been through thick and thin with each other, thick and thin in their life, and have survived the test of time. And God has been so gracious to allow you to still be here to talk about it. So I want to say, again, thank you, Trina. Thank you to everybody that's watching. Our goal was to do a 30-minute show. We've run 55 minutes every single episode. We thank you for staying with us. And we thank God for allowing us the opportunity for you to escape and listen and identify with the people that we bring to you. So I will, having said that, I will say thank you on behalf of all the beautifully driven women. Thank you on behalf of our wonderful guests who are so accomplished, so transparent, and so humble, Trina. And we appreciate you joining us. Please feel free to go to me-work WERK.com to pick up a journal. Our goal here is not to just talk about it, but to be about it, right? And a part of being about it is taking what you learn from other people's stories and putting it into action in your own lives. We look forward to touching base with you. We look forward to seeing you the next time on Beautifully Driven. And we are out. Bye, ladies.